Yo, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to kdjTV. I know why you're here. It's for the 10-minute mailbag. This is the MLB The Show series where I take user questions from the YouTube, down below in the comments, or the Discord. Join the link in the description, and I answer them. We have good conversations, usually spark really good debates in the comment section, and we just kind of feel it out, and we figure out the mysteries of MLB The Show. So, without further ado, I've got three questions ready for you. Tough to speak on a Sunday morning, but yeah, here we are. Let's do it. 10 minutes on the clock. 10 minutes on the clock to answer questions. Why are we on this screen? You'll see in a minute. You'll see. Don't worry. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Begin. I feel a sneeze coming on. If it happens, I'm sorry. I apologize. Our first question today comes from Brody L-X30. Hey, KDJ TV. I can't read. When will we get the real first 99s? Okay, so. I am in my inventory screen, just in case you didn't know how that works. You go to collect, you go to your inventory, you hit my MLB players, square, or whatever this button is on the Xbox. This one. Max overall 99 and hit start. There you go. Look, you've now sorted by overall. Look how fun it is. There are 4 99s in the game currently. Beltran, Hodges, Clemens, and Scott Rowland. They are collection cards. The highest overall cards otherwise are 93. Willie Castro, who's a chase card. George Springer, who's a World Series card. Pedro, who's a World Series card. Chase Headley, who's a collection. And Cedric Mullins, who is a chase. That's what I was going to say. It is, at time of recording on this beautiful Sunday, May 18th. The All-Star Game in Major League Baseball, which is normally when 99s come out in the Power Creep, is... I'm looking it up right now on my phone. July 15th. July 15th. So we're 2 months out. We're 2 months out, and roughly 2 months into the game cycle, we're at 93. So my question to you, and I don't know what I think, but my question to you is the power creep moving too slow? Are we going to ramp it up and get 99s around the All-Star break like we sometimes have gotten? 97, 98, 99, like it's ballpark where we are? Because the Home Run Derby winner and the All-Star Game MVP are typically 99s? Or because those are collection cards usually, or very, very, very expensive pack cards, the first free 99s could be available to us by the end of July, early August. Is that too slow of a power creep for you? That's just my question. I don't know how I feel. I am having fun with the way the game is currently creeping the content. Early on in the year, I thought it was moving a little slow, but I think it's getting better in my opinion. But I also don't like that, like, the best free card is, like, a 92 Corbin Carroll who's fine. Like, I don't know. I think the creep could be going a little faster, or at the very least think the power creep could be better for the free cards and the players who are no money spent grinding their butts off to try to compete against some of these type of cards. There is a clear difference this year between collection cards and chase cards and the rest. Chase cards should always be good, but the fact that they are so much better than the free cards is a disaster. That's a separate conversation. That's not necessarily talking about getting 99s. I think it's part of the overall content flow, though. So I guess I'm turning your question, Brody, into another question. Is the power creep going at the appropriate speed? What do we think? Are we happy with the speed of the creep? Is the problem more so that the free cards are stinky caca, and that is maybe expediting our emotions about the power creep? I don't know. Genuinely. Just curious. I'm going to now spin it around, throw it on you. What do we think about the speed of the power creep? So, Brody, if I had to answer your question myself, I'd say right around the All-Star break, mid to late July. But I don't know. We'll see what the people say. Thank you for your question, and thank you for watching. Next question comes from Gavin Gilbert. Is it time for SDS to bring back ballin' out of control packs with higher diamond odds? Low supply equals higher demand, and higher prices for the gatekeepers, the live series cards that are very expensive. Shohei, Judge, Bobby Witt, etc. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ballin' Out of Control packs were in 2 games or 1 game? Which titles were they in? I can't remember which ones or which one. We haven't had them for a couple years. I enjoyed the Ballin' Out of Control pack. It was nice to release it later in the game cycle, right? Like the Ballin' Out of Control pack was not available right at launch, but partway through the year, they dropped this super cool, new, exciting Ballin' as a Habit pack that had higher diamond odds. I know people always claim like packs are a conspiracy, like there's no diamonds in them, or they're purposely, the odds are not correct, or they never pull diamonds. I am not putting any stock or validating those conspiracies. All I will say is this. I have had the worst pack luck of my entire life this year. And I'm not even talking about high diamonds. I never expect to pull high diamonds. That's the point of them being high diamonds. You're not supposed to really pull them. But I have ripped bundles and ball-ins and headliners and pulled diddly shit. So, by the time the calendar flips to June or mid-June, which is soon, by the way, it would be nice to bring just some of those live series prices down a little bit by dropping maybe some Ballin' Out of Control packs. I think that's a good idea. Ballin' Out of Control packs were fun. They were still not guaranteed diamonds, but the odds were much better. And we're getting to the point where you want people to start finishing live series collection. Like, you need them to eventually finish it, or at least come close to it, so they feel compelled to keep playing. This is a major roadblock for a lot of players, and we talked about this last week in one of the videos. It's almost to the point where it is discouraging to players, where if they don't feel like they're making progress or they don't feel like they're getting closer, they'll just put the game down and they won't play it. And SDS doesn't want that. They need their player base to stay active. That's part of what the power creep is supposed to encourage, because you feel like you're always making your team better. But if the mega boss, the end goal of Diamond Dynasty is to collect the live series cards, you need to make it possible. Like right now, the prices on these guys are just out of control. Out of control. Aaron Judge, $425. Shohei, $600,000. Bobby Witt, $215. J-Ram, $150. Like, it's astronomical. Astronomical. Even these 87s are 25, 30K, and at this point in the year, they're usually a little cheaper than that. You know, maybe it speaks to how good Carlos Beltran is as a collection reward that these prices are high, but I also genuinely think that there just aren't enough of these cards in circulation. There are, theoretically, fewer people playing the game this year because there's no Xbox Game Pass. So that could be why there are fewer cards in circulation. I'd actually argue that is probably why. But SDS should recalibrate and balance that out so the market is at a reasonable state. I'm not asking for these cards to be free, but like $250 for Aaron Judge and $400 for Shohei is a lot more palatable than what it currently is. So to answer your question, we did a roundabout way here. Yes, I think Ballin' Out of Control packs would be a great way within the next month to kind of like just flood the market with some of these diamonds. Obviously, high diamonds will still be harder to get, but it will lower prices. I'm not asking for Ballin' Out of Control packs to be free or even given very often, but maybe there's like a few of them in the multiplayer program, or maybe there's a chance to get them in the wheel XP spin at the end. Even though it's not a wheel and it's not a spin, but we've all accepted that as what it is at this point. Make them sparse. Don't put them everywhere, but just make them available. And I think it's a great idea. Our last question. Thank you, Gavin. Virtual Sports 0. Which do you prefer? The Legends and Flashback collection we've seen in 19, 20, 21, 22, and now 25? Or the collection style used in 23 and 24 where you were just collecting cards and the series didn't matter? Virtual Sports says they prefer 23 and 24 versus all the other years. I like this better. I truthfully like this better. I know it gatekeeps the collection a little more, which is not why I like it. You know, that is just an unfortunate byproduct of it. Where the hell is the collection? Am I? Oh, right here. Stupid. But I like this. It makes you like think about which cards you're buying and how you're investing, and there's a little more strategy into maybe buying some duplicates of guys if you have the stubs laying around. I get that it becomes more daunting. I get that there are collections within collections, like the New Threads or the John Donaldson or Jacob deGrom or Leodolis Dafris. I get it. That is upsetting and daunting, and I see it. It also makes it so it feels like you have to play the game all the time. But I like the variety in this. I think this also encourages SDS to create more card series and not just throw us all signature series or all retro finest. Like, they have to also give us last ride cards. I'm thinking about it more from a content perspective than a collection perspective. Yes, it's harder for collections, but if you think about it, they have to give us contributor series to fulfill a voucher. They have to make sure they're giving us postseason style cards or second half heroes cards. And that creates more variety in the card builds because of the very nature of how those work. So I come from it from that perspective. I see why you might not like it because it is harder to finish collections. I get that. But think about it from the other end and think about all the other fun cards you're getting as a byproduct of collections being this way. And maybe that changes your mind. That concludes the 10-minute and 45-second mailbag. We went a little long today because we had good things to talk about. So ultimately, the big takeaway from this, what do you think of the speed of the power creep? Too fast, too slow, just right? Are you happy with how it's rolling out? That's it. I'm going to spin the questions on you guys. So thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. I love you all. More content to come this week. See you next time.